We come here, we saw our elders eat, we saw our ulama eat, so we have formed a habit which is second nature. There was nothing to show there. There was nothing for showmanship. It was a natural thing that I picked it with 3 fingers. And I started eating. Whatever it was, once and twice. That's all. And as I ate, there were 4 other Iraqi brothers sitting there. They were from remote villages. And they were eating in their way. Whatever was the way, I don't want to criticize. But one man sitting talked to others and said, "Look at this Indian." That's all. This is what I am. Look at this Indian. I have today learnt from him a lesson of Islam. To pick food with hurma. This is what he said. To pick food with hurma. Hurma means respect. And to lift it such a way that it should not fall. And that to show that there is something which must be revered and respected, which is going to the mouth. I have learnt from him, although it is from Islam. I just listened to it. I was in no mood of replying. It was my first day of trial. But I can tell you that even in those days, I at least realized that whether others follow or do not follow, if you follow the habits and ethics of Islam, you impress upon others when they see that you eat. You eat in a proper way. So eating itself has got so much. You can imagine when I open up the whole daftar, the whole book of Akhlaqiyat as the ulama have compiled, you can imagine where we will be. Allama Majlis alayhi Rahmah has compiled a complete book on which there is a chapter to food itself and how to drink. So finally, the Prophet said, when you drink in 3 gulps, 3 sips, 1, again 2 and 3, and gradually sipping it. That's all. And don't eat when others are not eating. That means, suppose, here of course, it is part of civilization, not Islamic, that everybody has his own snack. I came to your house. If you are a Muslim, you will never eat without telling me Bismillah. Will you? Whatever is there. In Islam, the Prophet said, when a guest suddenly appeared, suddenly, suddenly appears, give him all, whatever you have, and don't prepare anything new. No, don't tell your wife, now run, Bala has come. Give him anything that you have. If you are going to have dinner with 1 bread and 1 piece of meat, keep it before him. Share with him. But no Muslim will eat without offering. But here sometimes you find that one man is eating his sandwich, another man is just talking to him, and there is no scruple about not offering. Islam says, do not. For example, you came to my office, I have brought my lunch from home. I can't eat because I can't offer you. I have got enough just for my tummy. I am waiting for you to go so that there is privacy, and then I'll eat. Or if I have more, I'll open and say, Bismillah, all of us. Whatever it is that Mata Yassar, let us eat. But it's not possible for me to start eating while you are looking at me. That is un-Islamic. Is it not so? Well, Imam Ali alayhi salam once was sitting and a farmer came and gave him one beautiful fruit, apparently. It was pomegranate, daram, anar. And he said, Ya Ali, this is the first pluck of the harvest. I mean, the trees are still growing fruits. But this is the first pluck, and I have made a niyyah that when I get the first fruit, I'll give it to my Imam Ali, and I have brought it. Imam looked at it and he said, Mawla, but you must have it yourself. Imam said, but how can I have it myself? All these moments. He said, well, I made a niyyah for you. Imam said, all right, we will share. You don't worry, I will have it. And Imam cut the first slice. And just as he put in his mouth, Imam decided to eat the whole fruit. Decided to eat the whole fruit. while the man was still sitting and the people were watching. It was something unusual. When the fruit was finally finished, one of the friends complained, that we have friends and friends. Even in your children, if you have children, you know. There are some children who can tell you in your face. They are so free. There are some who are scared, but there are some who are so free. So in the friends also, you have some friends who really tell you, some friends who feel constrained. So there was one friend who said, "Ya Ali, unusual for you to eat the whole fruit and not even offer." And Imam said, "Yes, I know that. But the fruit which he gave me was so sour and bitter. It was so bitter that if I had given to you all, you would have all shouted." I did not want him to get discouraged for the gesture that he had made. So I have swallowed the whole bitter fruit. Not that I didn't want him to feel that it was bitter. I showed that I was relishing it. But if I had given it to you, most of you would have started grumbling. I didn't want him to get discouraged. The fruit was not worth your eating. I have eaten it, it's enough. Now don't ask me more. But let this man go away from here pleased that at least we have respected his feelings. So you find in Islam these things, and then as we proceed, we will deal with our general behavior as persons. Then finally we will go to whatever is known as a disease of the soul and the treatment. But before the disease of the soul, there are diseases of the physics which we have to discuss. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. We were discussing the point concerning the behavior and the akhlaqiyat, and in that we stressed on one point that Islam looks at our outward behavior with the same concern as it looks into our intentions and niyyah. That we have got to see that our behavior and pattern itself outwardly is correct. The very existence of human being, as I said, is a combination of spirit and soul with body. It is not the philosophy of mechanistic thinking that a man is just a machine. When it ceases to function, man dies. There is a spirit, there is a soul, there is a consciousness, which is of course to be regarded as the essential part of human existence. Imam Ali alayhi salam has said, Inna ruha fil jasad kal ma'na fil lafz. The simile or the comparison of soul within our body is like meaning behind every word. If you just had words without any meaning assigned to that particular word, the words become meaningless and redundant. When we used to learn grammar in Arabic, this difference was taught, that there are two types of words: words with meaning, words without meaning. A word in language and literature must have a meaning. Otherwise you can compose 2 or 3 letters to make a meaningless word. You can, but it will be a meaningless word. A word normally must have a meaning, whether it is a verb or a noun, or whether it is a simple harf, preposition, or adverb, or anything, but it must have a meaning. So, just as meaning is related to word, to make it understandable and meaningful, in the same way, soul is a part of human existence, making it meaningful. Because of that, I emphasize on one particular point that it is imperative that every parent first and foremost tries to see and check the behavior of children at home. That the child is told, for example, as I explained last time, how to eat. How to eat and what are the table manners and what are the eating etiquettes in Islam. Now that to most of us may not be very important. Why, I will explain as I conclude. But what I say is that Islam looks at the form as well as the content. The form has got to be accurate and the content has got to be correct. That is something where Islam does not connive at a form. It looks at the form as well as the content. It means, while it is right, where many philosophers argue, Islamic philosophers, that it is not important how you eat, it is important what you eat. Islam says in reply to that, true, it is important what you eat, but that is the content of it. The form of it is that it is very important how you eat. So that is why there is a set of manners which is known as table etiquette. Therefore, a man is known by that spirit with which he acts. Allama Majlisi Alayhi Rahmah in his book has written an anecdote of Banu Israel. He says there was one man, he was just crossing the street, passing by. It was a rainy season and there was so much of puddles and water accumulated on the streets, making the streets impassable. Well, he found that there was a very big gap there. People would not be able to pass because of water accumulated. So he thought to make it easy for people to pass, none of his private concern. It was a common suffering. People had to jump, people had to divert, and he had to do the same thing. But he just for a while thought, if he could create some comfort for others, what he did was, he kept two stones, one and the second one, so that people could step on the first one, on the second one, and then cross. And he kept that and he went away. There was no advertisement for that. It was not reported in the press. Naturally, it was not. But when the season was over, and it was summer, and water had everywhere dried up, and the roads were easy to pass, another traveler happened to come there. What he saw were two big stones. And he decided that this could be impediment for those who walk. Someone could be hurt. If he does not look at it properly, these stones might hurt. So what he did was, out of sympathy for the passerby, he just lifted those two stones and kept aside. Same two stones. And Allama says that there was a prophet in those days to whom Jibreel Amin came and said, O Prophet, Allah after salam wishes to inform you that He has in His ultimate mercy forgiven both of them. One who kept so that the people may pass, another who lifted away for the people to pass. Has forgiven them both. The act is very simple, perhaps not very material and significant. Allah looks at the way human spirit works. Allah looks at the way human spirit works. For you, if you rise to give a place to an elderly person, it might be a very simple gesture. Allah knows that this man has risen up to give room to one who is older than him. Again, it's a very simple act. It is said that there was a father who used to call his son every evening and ask, what good turn have you done today? Take stock of the deeds of today. Have you done one good turn to someone? Have you shown your behavior to be accurate and correct today? At least one. And it is said that one man who was calling his sons every day, the son said, "Father, I don't remember to have done anything." The father would say, "Try to recollect. There could be something." There was, but it was so simple that the boy thought it was not even worth remembering. And then he said, "Yes, father. There was an old man blind. He wanted to cross a road and I just happened to be by his side. I just caught him by the hand and said, 'Uncle, let me help you.' So I helped him. And you know what he said? He told me, 'May God bless you, son.'" The father said, "Well, do you think this was a small thing?" It has reflected the sort of bringing up in the house. If the parents have instilled in the child that his outward behavior counts, then definitely this would reflect in day-to-day action. Otherwise, many people go by, leaving the blind to cross the road himself. One man stands up and holds him by the hand, no relation, and says, "Uncle, may I help you?" And the old man thought that this boy has got khulq of Islam. It is for this reason that even today, Arabs, I'm talking of Muslim Arabs, I'm not talking of oil sheikhs, I'm talking of Muslim Arabs. Even today, if you do a good turn to him, you know what he will say? "Rahimallahu walidayk." I have seen it myself and you might have observed. A very old man in Jeddah airport, very old man, could not even walk. And one young man just from nowhere came and said, "Ammi, uncle, you be there, I am going to bring for you wheelchair." He was not working in the airport, he was just a passenger himself. He somehow went somewhere, brought a wheelchair, made that old man sit, and without having any relation with him, pushed the wheelchair to wherever he wanted to go. And then I remember very distinctly that the old man said, "Rahimallahu walidayk." May Allah bless your parents. Why did he say that? He could have said, "May Allah bless you for the good turn that you have done." But the answer is that it reflects the type of training your parents gave. They were sane and good. You have become good because of your parents. May Allah bless your parents. Even today it so happens that the dua goes to the parents for the type of training that we give to our own children. Remember this. So we are going to train our generation into so many Islamic ways that they must adopt without being ashamed of it. It's Islamic. For example, I forgot one thing last time. The Prophet said, after having finished eating, if you have any morsels of food or grains of rice or things stuck to your finger, lick it. After finishing, lick the fingers and eat whatever is remaining in your fingers and don't throw it away. Now somebody will say, "Mullah sir, if I do it before an Englishman, he will say this man is dirty."